If I could go back and shake 22-year-old me by the shoulders, I would, hard, because in just a few short years I wasted time, money, and energy on mistakes that were completely avoidable if someone had just been honest with me. So today, that's what I'm doing for you. These are the 10 biggest mistakes I made in my early 20s. No sugarcoating, no humble bragging, just the raw truth. And if even one of these saves you from going through what I did, this video is worth it. Let's go. Quick note before we dive in. I'm not here to tell you your 20s supposed to be perfect. They're not. But there's a difference between mistakes that teach you something and mistakes that just set you back. Most of mine were the second kind. And looking back, I can trace almost every problem in my late 20s to one of these 10 things. So, let's break them down, starting with the one that probably cost me the most. Mistake 01, I thought I had more time than I did. This is the big one, and I don't mean time to have fun, I mean time to build. At 21, I genuinely believed that 30 was so far away it might as well be a different lifetime. So I kept saying, I'll start that next year. Next year became next year, and then suddenly you're 28, and 5 years of next year are just gone. The truth is, your early 20s are the highest leverage years of your life. You have energy, low responsibilities, and the ability to take risks that get harder with every passing year. I wasted that window thinking it was infinite. It wasn't. Mistake 02. I optimized for looking successful, not being it. I spent money on things that looked like success. The clothes, the nights out, just the image, instead of investing in things that would actually make me successful. I was playing a character of someone who had their life together, while the real version of me had zero savings, no clear direction, and deep anxiety. I was covering up with performance. Social media made this 10 times worse. I was curating a highlight reel for an audience that honestly didn't care, while neglecting the actual work behind closed doors. If you're doing this right now, stop. Nobody's keeping score the way you think they are. Mistake 03. I never learned how money actually worked. Nobody taught me budgeting, investing, or compound interest, and instead of figuring it out myself, I just ignored it. I lived paycheck to paycheck for years, not because I didn't earn enough, but because I had no system. Every raise just meant more spending. I had no emergency fund, no investments, and a credit card I treated like free money. The brutal reality? The money I spent on nonsense between 21 and 25, if I'd invested it, would be worth considerably more today. Financial literacy is not optional. It's the foundation everything else is built on. Mistake 04. I said yes to everything and everyone except myself. I was terrified of disappointing people, so I overcommitted. I said yes to plans I didn't want to go to. Yes to projects I had no business taking. Yes to friendships that were completely one-sided. And in all that people-pleasing, I said no to the things I actually wanted. My goals, my rest, my direction. Boundaries aren't selfish. They're the only way you can actually show up properly for the people and things that matter. I learned this way too late. Mistake 05, I let the wrong people have front row seats to my life. You've probably heard that you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. In my early 20s, my 5 were people who were comfortable being mediocre, and they were subtly pulling me in that direction, not maliciously. That's the thing. Mediocrity doesn't announce itself. It just keeps offering you another round and telling you you're fine. I kept friendships out of loyalty and history instead of asking, does this person push me to grow, or do they make it comfortable to stay still? Audit your circle. It's uncomfortable. Do it anyway. Quick pause. If any of these are hitting close to home, drop a number in the comments. Seriously, which one is yours? We've got 5 more to go, and honestly, the second half is where it gets personal. Let's keep going. Mistake 06. I avoided discomfort like it was the enemy difficult conversation. I'd ghost it. Hard decision? I'd postpone it. Uncomfortable skill to learn? I'd find something easier to do instead. And all that avoidance built up into a version of me that was genuinely fragile, because I'd never trained the muscle of doing hard things. Here's what nobody tells you. Discomfort is a signal that you're at the edge of growth. I spent years running from exactly the thing I should have been running toward. The stuff you're avoiding right now, that's your list. Start there. Mistake 07. I underestimated the power of learning one skill deeply. I was the definition of a dabbler. A little bit of this, a little of that, always chasing the next interesting thing. And I had nothing to show for it. No deep expertise, no real leverage. The people I watched overtake me in their careers weren't necessarily smarter. They just picked one thing and went deep on it until they became genuinely hard to replace. Breadth is fun for curiosity. Depth is what builds a career. I spent too long confusing the two. Mistake 08. I ignored my mental health until it became a crisis. I thought therapy was for people who were really struggling. I told myself I was fine. Busy, stressed, kind of lost, but fine. I wasn't fine. I was burning out slowly with no vocabulary for what I was feeling and no tools to deal with it. By the time I finally asked for help, I'd spent years white-knuckling through things I didn't have to. Anxiety, burnout, imposter syndrome. These don't go away if you ignore them. They compound. Investing in your mental health is not a luxury. It's maintenance. Oh, it's like going to the gym, except for the part of you that runs everything else. Mistake 09. I defined myself entirely by what I did, not who I was. My job title, my output, my achievements. That was my whole identity, which sounds fine until things don't go well. A bad performance review wrecked me. A project failing felt like I was failing as a person, because I had no separation between what I do and who I am. Your career is what you do. It is not your worth. I know that sounds cliché, but I needed someone to say it to me plainly, so I'm saying it plainly to you. Mistake 10. I waited to feel ready before I started. The business idea? I waited until I knew more. The creative project? Waited until I had better equipment. The hard conversation? Waited until the timing felt right. Spoiler, I never felt ready. Because ready is a feeling that arrives after you start, not before. Every person I admire who built something meaningful, they started before they were ready. They figured it out in motion. Waiting for perfect conditions is just fear with better branding. And I gave that fear years of my life. Start the thing now, imperfectly, with what you have. Wrap it up with weight. So there they are, 10 mistakes, 10 things I'd undo if I could. But here's the thing I want to leave you with. I don't actually regret any of it, because each one taught me something I couldn't have learned any other way. The goal isn't a mistake-free life. The goal is to stop making the same mistakes on repeat. If you're in your early 20s right now, you're not behind. You're just early. But please, learn from this before you have to live through it. If this video resonated with you, share it with someone in their 20s who needs to hear it. Drop a comment about which mistake hit hardest. And if you want more videos like this, subscribe, because I'm just getting started. I'll see you in the next one.